McAlister Institute, a San Diego resource for addiction and rehabilitation. And Jean, you know all too well about what life is like to be dependent on alcohol, because 60 years ago, that was you.
That was me, and I was very young when I came into the program, and so people don't have to add. I'm 84 and a half. I'll be 85 in July. And it was very difficult at that time to make the decision to not drink, because everybody that made that decision were a lot older, and I was very young.
How did you get hooked?
I was just like everybody else. My friends drank, and I wanted to go drink with them. They could stop, and I could not stop. So I started drinking about 15, 16 years old, and just wanted to be like everybody else. And I think that's one of the things that people don't realize. It's not their fault, you know. I didn't know that I was different. And you can go out and have a couple of drinks, go home. I'm going to stay there and drink longer.
What was your aha moment when you realized that you had to stop it, and how did you?
Well, one of the things that happened for me was I realized that I was in deep trouble. My darkness was getting very dark. I didn't like myself. I didn't know where to go for any help. So I went to my doctor, and he said, oh, I was too young. Then I had a list of psychiatrists, but I didn't have the money to go. But things were happening to me physically, and I think it was a good thing, because a lot of times it doesn't happen till later. But I was not able to walk straight up. I had to walk. I crawled upstairs. I would lose all my energy. The alcohol was taking a toll on me very, very early. And I met somebody that was going to a self-help group, and that was the way I got sober.
And then years later, you founded the McAlister Institute, which there are several branches throughout San Diego County, and every day you help some 2,500 people in San Diego County and also in Napa try to get a control of their substance abuse habit. How did you start that?
Well, it was during the human potential movement, and some people will remember it and some won't, but everybody was doing sensitivity groups. I was doing sensitivity groups, and I really wanted to do that full-time and not work a full-time job. So I went to a psychiatrist and said, would you umbrella my operation so I could charge? And he said he couldn't do that, but that he wanted to hire me. So I went to work for him. He trained me. We worked together for 5 years, and then he had a contract with the county, decided that he did not want to do it anymore. He quit. I picked up that contract, and that's how McAlister was formed.
Now, we just saw the video that Sasha Fu put together about the demonstration that is geared toward teenagers. You have dealt with a lot of teenagers over the years when it comes to drinking. What are some of the warning signs that parents can be alerted to?
Well, one, strange, secretive behavior, changing friends, grades dropping, little code words, and non-communication with their family, and hiding a lot. Yeah, behaviors. They just kind of get sneakier, and their grades drop and their friends change.
What percentage of clients do you have in your center that have been impacted by drunk driving, would you guess?
I couldn't guess that. I'm sorry. I wish I could, but I would imagine quite a few. We have a couple here today that are willing to speak with you about it, but I know that it's very prevalent. I know that people don't intend to drive drunk, but they don't make good choices after they've had a lot to drink. And then you've read about it, I've read about it. People wake up in jail and not even knowing that they had killed someone.
When it comes to treating people with substance abuse problems, what's the philosophy at the McAlister Institute, and how successful are you in helping people kick these bad habits?
I would say we have about a 40% success rate, meaning that people come in and don't drink again or use drugs, but then some people go out and come back. I always tell people, give me somebody for 2 or 3 weeks and I'll spoil their drinking for the rest of their life, because they'll learn that there's another way to live, that they can feel good about themselves. We do a lot of different things with them. We educate. We give them the tools to stay clean. We change their friends asked them to change their friends. They learned that they can have fun and live without alcohol or drugs.
Well, a little bit later in this half hour, we're going to talk to Jean again about some of the programs, 25 of them, in fact, at the McAlister Institute that help people become clean and sober. So we will see you shortly in just a few minutes. It's great to meet you, Jean. And coming up next, we're going to be talking to two women who were personally impacted by drunk drivers. We'll hear their stories next.